Handley Page Halifax was the second of Britain's 4 engine bombers to enter Royal Air Force service, and from RAF Lissett Airfield they flew some 250 operations. The skies of Yorkshire once thundered to the sound of Halifax engines. Now, over 65 years later, it's the gentle giant wind turbines and their majestic whisper that has brought Propellers back to Lissett. .158 Squadron, equipped with the Halifax, arrived at Lissett in February 1943. The first operation from Lissett was on the 5th of March 1943 to Essen. 6 aircraft were dispatched, and thankfully all returned safely on that occasion. Lissett was the closest Yorkshire bomber airfield to Germany at the time of conflict, and 158 Squadron occupied RAF Lissett from February 1943 for the remainder of the war, flying some 250 operations, with 144 Halifaxes failing to return or destroyed as a result of accidents. Lissett was an excellent station, and according to Harry Lomas in his book One Wing High, the camp was known for its good food and lack of bull. It was handy for the Bridlington nightlife, and its proximity to the emergency strip at Carnaby. Lissett's war operations came to an end with the attack of Wangerooge on April the 25th, 1945. Given Lissett Airfield's fascinating history, Novera was pleased to include, as part of the wind farm project, the construction of a memorial to the 851 members of 158 Squadron who died in active service. In consultation with the 158 Squadron Association and East Riding of Yorkshire Council, Novera held a design competition for the memorial, and the winning entry was from local artist Peter Naylor of Beverley. They were proud to use locally sourced materials and the technical expertise of W. Campbell's & Son in Hull.
I have slipped the surly bonds of earth, and danced the skies on laughter's silver wings. Sunward I've climbed, and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds, and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there I've chased the shouting winds along, and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up, the long delirious burning blue. I've topped the wind-swept heights with easy grace whenever lark or even eagle flew. And while with silent lifting mind I've trod the high untrespassed sanctuary of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.
The memorial depicts 7 figures in silhouette, representing a bomber crew and reflecting the 7 links in the 158 Squadron badge. Each figure supports the other, reinforcing the squadron motto of strength and unity. All 851 names of the squadron members who lost their lives are etched on the figures. The memorial was unveiled on the 16th of May 2009 and dedicated by the Archbishop of York, Dr. John Sentamu.
Thank you very much indeed for the invitation. It's been a real pleasure to come along and be the senior representative of the Royal Air Force at the opening ceremony. From my perspective, it's a great link between heritage and horizon. You know, we had propellers that powered people from this airfield 60 years ago to go and fight for our survival, and by the fact that they did that and their sacrifices recorded here for posterity, we now have propellers of the future across here generating green energy. If they hadn't have done their bit, you wouldn't be able to do your bit. So I think it's a fantastic link, and I think it's today has gone beautifully.
I think it's excellent. Yeah, as you know, there were a lot of entries, and I know they had a hard job of bringing the numbers down, but it's brilliant.
And the names of all those we lost have been recorded on the memorial. I'm most grateful for everyone who has helped in any way to make this the most wonderful day it's ever been.
And we went to Berlin, and we were shot down over Berlin, which was rather terrifying, extremely terrifying, and 3 of the crew were killed, and 4 of us got out by parachute, but the pilot couldn't. The pilot and I were the last 2 in the plane, and the plane was on fire, and we couldn't get the escape hatch open. All very terrifying. And eventually, he got me out and pushed me out, and I opened my parachute. But we were very low then, and he left it too late and couldn't get out. So the pilot was killed. And my son is here, but my son Kevin is named after that pilot. He's here now, actually. But and then I took part in the Great Escape from Salligal 3, but here again I was caught, and most of the fellows who escaped were 50 of them were murdered by the Gestapo. So I escaped that at all. So I had a very eventful time after spending time in Lissett in 1943, but I'm here now at 86, I suppose, and very healthy, and very grateful for 60 years of life I never thought I'd have.
Oh, it's great. I was here when Peter talked about it last September, and the things he talked about and why he did it this way, he's just done a wonderful job, and it will stand a long time, and it's a very suitable memory to all these young men. I particularly liked seeing the young guys dressed up in their flying suits. That was whoever thought that one up. That was just great. Yeah, no, we really enjoyed this very much, and it's a beautiful memorial.
Very, very nostalgic day. Extremely well done. Delighted that the Archbishop should come along himself and bless the ceremony. But yes, it's a very nostalgic day. A very sad day for all of us, but still a very rewarding way, in a way.
It meant everything, really. Of the designs we had, as you know, that was the one that struck home as soon as we'd seen it, really. And as you know, that's the one I pressed home to get, and we got it. But I think it's of all the memorials we've seen, they'll have to go a long way to beat this one, because it just looking at it says everything it's supposed to say. And again, we thank you people for what you've done, and what else can I say? It's been a fantastic day.
Oh yes, I was trying to get some pictures, but no way. But tomorrow, we're going to try and get some when there's no one there. It's a lovely thing, with all their names too. I never thought you could put 851 names on that. I always remember the numbers. Were killed, it's 158 backwards.